Hello. Welcome, gamers. It is in fact Wednesday. We're back with another edition of me trying to do a game jam and possibly failing again. Anyway. Welcome Stream Elements, welcome Last Abaka, welcome Anteru, welcome A Poland, welcome Stanley. Alright, so the theme for today's game, also this is today's image, it is a Game Boy Advance SP of some sort, and I'm on there. But today, we have GMTK Game Jam 2025 has started. It has started 4 hours ago. And the theme is loop. So today we're gonna try to think up some ideas. Something to do with looping, I don't know. There's many things. I like this theme better than the other game jam I tried to participate in last time. The Kenny game jam last time had the theme of power, which I think was too vague. Now loop, I feel like this one is like specific enough that it may make sense to actually make a game based on it. But I don't know yet. I've not yet thought through what I want to make. And so we're going to do that today. And if I have no good ideas, I might do the same thing that I did last time, and that is just to just give up, you know? Classic thing that people do, just give up. But there's also a new version of Godot beta. So hold on, Godot beta. I don't have the latest version. I noticed last time when I was working on the game that it had some flickering issues. I'm wondering if that's like a bug related to the fact that I'm on beta. But there is a new beta. So let's see. Let's try to download this one. Literally released yesterday. Alright, Godot 4.5 beta. Let's download that for Windows. It is downloading. Web fishing, but it's catching butterflies with a net. But what does that have to do with looping, though? It's gotta be a looping. Welcome, Zully. Okay, so we're gonna go to our directory. The net is a loop. Is it, though? Is it really? I know Zully's participating. Have you come up with game ideas, Zully? Okay, Godot is here. Probably gonna do some kind of catching game where you draw circles around stuff. I was also thinking of something similar to that. As one of the general ideas. I was like, you know what's a looping game? Wooloop? You know, you draw circles around things. It would be nice to make Wooloop as a game. However, I think I can't just copy Wooloop. I need something unique. But I like the idea of Wooloop. Circling things. I don't know yet what exactly the game is going to be. But you could determine it, so we could figure it out. Anyway, here's the new Godot beta. Might as well also copy this one. We could delete this one, unpin this one, and pin this one. Welcome Lunatic Lurker. What's the advantage of using beta? It has features that I like, that are good. Specifically the feature about combining collision shapes and tile maps. I think that's really, really nice to have. There's a great old Shockwave game called Loop. Catching butterflies by drawing loops. Yeah, there's like a lot of game ideas like that. I think it's a good thing. You know how like there's Pokemon Ranger? I never played Pokemon Ranger, but you could draw circles around things. I don't actually know anything about it besides the fact that that is a functionality that exists. I'm not very ambitious with this goal. With this, my goal is to force myself to learn game dev. Yeah, that's how you get into game dev, is just make something. Alright, we're gonna make a new project. It's going to be GMTK Game Jam 2025. It's going to be in the Godot directory. and then what? And then create. Alright, so ideas. I simply don't know. Let's make a document of some ideas. Let's put this thing over here, install VimMotion. I think I tried that the first time I tried Godot. It was not very good. It did not really work the way I expected. Okay, ideas dot, sorry, this is ideas dot md. Alright, ideas. Theme loop. It's not very good for basic editing, but it's good enough. I did not think it was good enough, but it's glad to know that you think it's good enough. Okay, so ideas. Drawing circles around things. That's a thing, you know, woo loop. But with something else added. We also played another game some time ago, Looper. That was a good one. I can't just copy the game, but this one was pretty fun. Looper game itch.io. Yeah, this one. This is one where you have like a square around you, and you can loop within that square. So like looping from the edge of the screen to the other side. You could play around with that concept in some way. Like remember this game? Remember this game. This was a good game. Right, you start off, you got the basics. You know, this stuff just normal, and then you get to loop. And then what? Then you gotta press some buttons. Then you have the ability to loop. Now this is where you can loop. Press space and then you can loop. You can be looping. I mean, I thought that was a cool game that we played. I obviously can't just copy this because, you know, there's gotta be something a little bit more involved. But this was a fun one. We could do something about looping around to the edge of the screen, perhaps. To the other side of the screen or area. Looping. What else? Looping the third. What's the looping the third? A time loop game, possibly also a thing. Time loop. Welcome, Panis. Time loop. You could also have like, you know, like a running around in a circle. Uma Musume. Uma Musume circle? Probably not. Like a racetrack or something. I know Loop Hero is a game that existed. I'd never played it, but you do run around in a circle, and those are very, very much a loop. Hula hoops, those are also loops. What about loop synonym? Kringle? What the Kringle? Iteration loop. Wait, loop is also like a knitting thing, right? Don't you have to loop in knitting? Computer program. It could be like a Zachtronics style game involving looping in some way. Zachtronics / programming. Maybe something happens and then you gotta like every loop you gotta do something different. I don't know. A Velcro is called a hook and loop. Platformer that uses a Velcro suit. I think that one is a bit too much of a stretch. They would allow it. They will allow it. They did say they will not disqualify you for failing to meet the theme. You could just make a game about anything and be like, oh, actually it's a loop because in my code I used for loops. It would be valid. I mean, this thing is more specific than that, and it definitely would be valid. But let's see, maybe there's something more obvious. Oh, circuit. Wait, circuitry? Circuitry. Those have those have some loops. Circuitry loops. It is explicitly part of the prompt. Yes, they did say that they will not deny you for not whatever. Roguelike games. Yeah, gameplay loop. You know, like go to dungeon, you know, fight monsters, go back to town. But then it's focused on that, perhaps. What are some other words for loop? Circle, a ring, a belt. Spiral. Wait, spiraling. Spirals are kind of looped. I have this mind map drawn out. I ended up focusing on the enclosed definition so much. My mind map turned into a tree. What about Hank? What about, twirl? What about just, you know, like spinning? Spinning in some way. That's like kind of a loop, right? Loop. Animation loops. Those are also a thing. Complete the loop. Loopy. Like when someone is like insane. Some people say that's loopy. Fruit Loops, the cereal. To be in the loop. To be in the loop. You're like, when you're out of the loop, you're like, I don't know what's happening. Guy who doesn't know what's happening is out of the loop. Guy who doesn't know what's happening. Out of the loop. It's a great prompt. But how would we make out of the loop? Maybe you are in a time loop and you must find a way out. It's also really hot today. Did you know this NYC weather? Holy frick, 92 Fahrenheit? What is the humidity? 46%? 95 high? Heat advisory? Monday to Wednesday? You are not in a time loop and you're trying to find a way in? I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of games about time loops. That's like a very, it's like a common thing that people make games on. Which doesn't mean that I shouldn't make one like that. But let's see. What else? What else could I do? Loop. Loop games involving loops that I could steal from. Oh, games involving time loops? No, not time loops specifically. Games with the most engaging gameplay loops. Monster Hunter World, Factorio, time loop incrementals, free games, tagged loop. I probably shouldn't be browsing the itch games. I know they said they've removed NSFW games, however, I cannot trust that because sometimes I'm just browsing the list of games and there's something extremely not safe for work that I should not be browsing. I would have assumed that it would be safe, but it's not. There are things that are not safe. Roller coaster game with loops. Stunt driving through loops. Driving, jumping. Wait, what about remember the Superman game for N64? Loop. You have to go through circles. Superman 64. Sonic has loops. Yeah, I think they also gave that as an example. In their video that they introduced the theme, they did, I think, show the GMTK looping. Wait, where was that video? Didn't they have one? I remember when the theme was first live, there was a video here. And maybe it's unlisted, maybe it's on their channel. Videos. Yes. So they had, look, they literally have Sonic right there. Loops, this is Loop Hero, I think, right? That's Loop Hero. I don't know what this one is. What is this one? Something. They give some ideas. They're doing the same thing over and over again, you know, that's looping. Racetracks, racing game, programming instructions, racing game, racing game. A NASCAR game. What if I just made Uma Musume? You know, they do run around in loops. I don't know how to make that interesting though. Looping around to the other side. I kind of like the idea of something involving looping around an area. You know, you could be here and then there's like an enemy and you're like, oh no, and then you like run around and then now you're on the other side. I think that's pretty cool. You know what I should listen to is the Wooloop soundtrack. I think that'd be relevant. You've not listened to that in a while. But now we can. Wooloop. Remember this song. Good times, good times. It is also, I don't know, it's just so hot right now. It's literally just so hot. But I should commit this. I have not changed anything, but I should in fact do an initial commit. Initial commit. Alright, so let me look through my list of game ideas in general. Is there anything here that I could do? A one-button platformer involving loops? Is that possible? One-button platform puts looping. What if it was like a game where let's see. What the heck is this? It's like a one-button platformer where your character is like constantly moving in one direction, right? And then you tell them when to jump. But then the screen is bounded, and when you reach the end of the screen, you loop around to the other side. And so there's like platforms like this, and you're like, oh no, I gotta jump from here, and then from here you gotta jump this way, and then now you end up on this side. Although I feel like that's already a pretty common game, right? I don't know. This has probably existed many times before. So you loop around the other side. I think that would be pretty easy to make. I don't know how compelling it would be for a game though. One button platformer where the edge of screen loops you around. Learning 3D game dev? That's crazy. I would never do that. Okay, other game ideas in general. Jump King. That's not gonna be good for a game jam because everyone hates Jump King. Picross. Could I make a Picross game with looping? You could do some kind of maze game where the goal is to not loop around. Mazes though. Puzzle game. What about like a Sokoban game? But you can loop around the edge of the screen. You know, you could push, you know, Sokoban games, they're usually like, you know, they're bounded. But what if this one, you can push it around and now it's on this side. What about that? But with edge of screen looping. Mushrooms on top. Yeah, mushroom game. Let's see. So that's an idea. Woo loop of some kind. Welcome low efforts. Make a game about delivering a ring. The Lord of the Rings. Platformer game. There's also the genre of platformer game where like the character moves automatically, but you like place platforms. So like what if you could, for example, this player is constantly moving to the right. And then you could perhaps, what if they loop around? You can create platforms. And then the player jumps on the platforms automatically. You stop them from dying, right? There's spikes here. And then there's like they would die, but then you can place platforms. And then if there is a platform there, if they reach the end of a platform, they will jump, they will land. But then what if we had looping somehow, such that, what if you could place, okay, this is just copying from the looper game, but what if you could draw a rectangular region where if the player entered, they would find themselves on the other side. But it's like the looper game, but they move automatically. I think that would be kind of cool, actually. So like the player starts off here. Okay, what if you don't draw a platform? It's like this. And then here's what you do, okay? You're like, how do I solve this one? Good question. The player's automatically moving this way. Welcome, Liquid Cake. And then you could draw a circle, sorry, a square around here. So now, now what? Well, good question. Now, when they go here, they'll fall off, right? But since you've drawn this border, they will instead of falling into the spikes, they will fall here. And then they'll go down because they're moving to the right constantly. They'll hit this thing and then they'll be spawned back up here. And then they go here, right? But then here's the issue. Once they reach this side, then they'll go back here. So you gotta like delete the square before they get there. I don't know. That's something. I think that's an engaging idea. Looper game, but you draw the box. Player moves automatically. Right, I think that could be an interesting one. Platform where you run on a treadmill. But how would they move though? How would they even move? And then, okay, other games involving loops. Hidden object game, Breakout. What about Breakout / Pong, but it loops? So you got like a ball. It hits the thing, it bounces off. And then, I don't know, the edge of the screen, it loops around. It goes like over here now. Is that anything? I don't know. It's probably not. How about Doodle Jump kind of game where the platforms break? You need to go up the same stage twice. That is a looping mechanic. I've never played Doodle Jump, but I think I know what you're talking about. Doodle Jump, but it loops, and you need to preserve platforms. Possibly. That's possible. What about a game known as I don't know. Peggle, the game known as Peggle, but with looping somehow. Pinball, could we have pinball but with looping? Is that a thing? Pinball with looping? Jump King? No. Golf? Can we have golf but with looping? Golf, that's a genre of game that exists. Golfing. I'm scrolling. Looping golf. What would looping golf be? Welcome Imba Joe. Any interest in a narrative game like 12 minutes where you replay one situation while learning more each time? I've never played that game, so I don't know. But that would involve me being able to design something that is knowledge-based, which I don't have confidence in. On the first loop, you can have a character that can place platforms. The second loop, a character that is a different... Ooh, that's a good one. Play through the same level, but with different character abilities. Welcome, dog developer. So, like, yeah, you could maybe, like, one character places platforms to allow other player to move. Welcome, Brainzap. Have I played Kinda Hard Golf? Is that the one that Northern Lion plays? It has a daily game. I've not played it, but I've seen this one. But how is that looping though? It loops around, perhaps? Golf, but it loops. What about a train game? Train simulators? Trains do go in loops. Train railways? They loop, right? They're out there looping around. Wait, how can if I made a train game? You loop around. You gotta get like a station. There's like people you gotta get to the station. You gotta make a path, you know? You gotta draw the tracks such that the train delivers everyone. That's a thing, right? That's a loop. 3D shooter game based on... Sorry, played on a 3D Klein bottle, rendered with vertex shaders. That sounds too advanced. I don't know how I would do that. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Tower defense game with looping somehow. Tower defense. I don't know. Dinosaur jumping game, but it's looping. I mean, I guess that inherently is a loop. The dinosaur is just jumping forever. Let's see. There was that other game we played that is, what was it called? Pinata something? Pinata Boom? Pinata Go Boom? That one was fun. This was one where you kind of just, you play through the same rooms over and over again, but then you get, like, new abilities. You can, like, every run, you get to, like, do more damage or, like, whatever, and then your goal is to get to the end. But by doing so, you have to loop many times. So, you know, that's something. Incremental game. Similar to Pinata Go Boom. You play same rooms, levels, but with power-ups. That's a thing, right? Let's see, more game ideas. Puzzle platform game where you play the level multiple times. Each playthrough has the old playthroughs playing at the same time. True, that's also a common genre of game that I've seen. Playthrough, same level, but your previous playthroughs also are playing at the same time and can affect things. Can affect things with an A. Okay, that's possible. That is in fact a possibility. I mean, I think of all the ones that I have discussed so far, I kind of like this one. the one where player is moving around but on their own, and you get to draw a square or some shape where it causes the player to loop around. But the issue then is coming up with puzzle ideas that would make this interesting. And also, if I did this, people would be like, you stole this idea from Looper. Literally a freaking idea thief. I need to make it like more unique somehow. Although I guess I don't have to. I mean, you know, the goal is not to make a completely original game, because those are hard to come by. There's no truly original game out there usually. I prefer the descriptor of idea fiend. Yes, so true. How could I make this more distinct? It's legally distinct for reasons. Right, you know, they're walking, they're like, yippee, and then whoop, oh no, I'm on this side now. Oh no, I've fallen, but now I'm on this side. Actually, remember that there was another game we played, Curse of Tenkond? Remember this one? This one is like every 10 seconds you replay from the very beginning, but then you have knowledge. It's a knowledge-based game. We're like, oh shoot, now I know that there's like a secret over here, and then I could go there, and then oh shoot, now I'm over here now. And then in 10 seconds, because of your knowledge, you can now do more things. Yeah, Minute also does that. It's another thing. A game like Minute or Curse of Tenkond, play through same world, but you die after short amount of time, but with your knowledge, you can get further. Perhaps all games named for a time do this. 12 minutes, Minute, Tenkond. Kart racing game, that's too simple though. Mario Kart. I mean, I like this idea. The issue with this one is that I would need to think of unique things to for the player to know. That may be harder than I think. I feel like racing and roguelike will be the more used ones. Yeah, I mean, roguelike games do involve looping quite a bit. You do play, you know, randomly generated levels. Welcome all Chikara. Game in which you must entangle a loop of string. I've had my issues with rope physics to know that I maybe don't want to do that. Welcome Diego. What about Groundhog Day? I mean, that's kind of similar to this one. The opposite. Wait, the opposite of Wooloop. Oh, so you mean like if you have like a decoration? Let's say there's like a dog, right? There's like a dog here. So they have something that's drawn. And then you gotta like unravel it. Wait, that one's kind of interesting. Hold on. That could be something. You could, yeah, you could unloop something. Right, what if you had like a design like this? Loop is also a belt. True, true. So like you have a design here, right? And then this thing is looped around. This is like loop, but in reverse. You start from here, and then you take the yarn, and then you like go this way, and now you know the dog's being destroyed. You gotta loop it around, you gotta unloop it, and now it's like, you know, this thing's gone now. This thing, that's kind of nice, actually. I think that, yes, that is Toku Day Dog. That's a good one. Interesting. There's some good ideas here. Is there anything that stands out to me though? Like, I'm still of the idea that the one where you draw a square around something and the character can loop around that square, I think that's a cool idea. I just don't know how to make that more original. So and then you move the square somewhere else. And now they no longer loop through that square. What if you could have, there could be multiple of these squares, and you can place them and destroy them, and they're of fixed size. So you gotta know, you know, until you start off here, they're walking. Yeah, it's like Portal. It's like if you go down here and you end up here. Portal, you know, Portal itself is also kind of a loop kind of game. There's a joke that in the tax office or insurance you go in circles and get the approval to get the approval. True. So true. That is a thing. That is a downside of our society. Needing to wait. I don't know. I'm just gonna try starting to implement this one. You know, this one, I don't know. There's something here. I could get the basic mechanics and then try to figure out something to make it a bit more unique. Does a circle room have one wall or infinitely many? I don't know. This is too much for me to think about. I was also thinking of pool, yes. I was thinking of like backwards pool, but I don't know if there's a game like that that would be interesting. I was going to suggest something like 2D Portal, except you can't move. So the mechanic is to place portal loops to get momentum. Also valid. Other things could also loop through the square. There could be enemies. What if there were enemies that moved with you? Combine pool and loop. Pool loop. Woo loop. Okay, I'm just gonna try to implement this mechanic. Just, you know, just because I think it'd be interesting to implement, even if I don't make a game with it. Have you thought about a game about orbits? What, like Kerbal Space Program? I have not. I have not considered it. The question is, how do I do this? How do you make something? It's quite easy to make it so that they loop around, but then to have part of them be on both sides? How would that even work? I guess you would just have two entities and then you would cut off part of them. Right, now you're here, and then your hitbox is now... Oh, that's going to be kind of annoying though. Your hitbox would have to be split in half. It would have to be like multiple things. How did people do it? How did they do it? This is what I'm trying to figure out right now. Man. You can go around. And then your hitbox is now cut in half. And also your sprite is cut in half. If the ramp is visible, it would have to be two actors. Yeah. So like maybe, okay, we could have, this could be an area 2D. And then if you are in the area 2D, you detect how much you are in the area 2D. And then you could take the other one and put it on the other side. So there would always be two instances of a player at all times. It's just that if the player is not within this loop, the other instance is nowhere. It has no collision. If the player is in the loop, you will have to detect that and then adjust their hitbox and also whatever. Oh, you might also need, right. you could be in, you could also be like here. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. The halting problem. What about a game around a piece of paper that has flip it in both sides? What the? If it's all done on the overdraw of the screen, it would be a set position. What? Also, welcome Chokerjacks. Yes, a stick figure. We're trying to think of ideas about looping. I mean, I'm just gonna try to implement something. Okay, let's make a folder, entities, new folder, player. If it is outside view, it would be a set position. What if you made a looping puzzle game where you can affect your future via your past movements? Yeah, that's an idea that we did have. Platformer where you play through the same level, but your previous playthroughs are also playing at the same time and can affect things. It's possible. That is a possibility. But I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna create a new folder. Screens. Yeah, we stole your idea. Okay, new. It's gonna be a pixel art game, of course, because, you know, that's just what I do nowadays. Project settings, filter. It's gonna be nearest. Welcome DX Nomad. Okay, now I could draw placeholder graphics, or I could just use icon.svg. I think I should just... What if I just reuse the walking sprite from Vacuous Sugar Quest? They did say you can reuse graphics. Let's open up Steam. You can still throw out your channel and join the game jam. Yeah, what if you made a game right now? Have you considered making a game right now? Alright, we got A sprites. Where did I have this? Player.asprite. First idea I had that I'm not clever enough to do the narrative for is a game about being a playtester for a friend. We're playing the first level over and over with small changes. Oh, that's a good one. We've played some games like that. Some meta games of like people being like, oh look, I'm a game developer creating something for a game jam, and you gotta like fix bugs. Playing same level, but developer adds things each playthrough. Yeah, there's things like you play a game and then there's like voiceover of the developer being like, oh no, I found a bug in the game. Oh, I gotta delete that one. Oh no, collision isn't working. Let me go back and fix that. I think I've played at least one game like that, and those are always fun to play. That's a thing. Small little changes. The friend keeps trying to make you play it a certain way. You go against that and the friend gets mad. You're supposed to use the platform. You're not supposed to wall jump here. Oh my god, he's wall jumping when he was supposed to go this way. That's a possibility. Well, you know, you can all, if you want to make a game, you could also try to do so. It's totally available right now. Okay, so we can have, for example, this. I can copy this existing... I could even literally use this guy. I could literally use this guy. Let's do that, actually. Alright, so this is going to be... What size is this? 32 by 32? Let's make a 32 by 32 sprite. I got Godot open, stuck on the brainstorming. You can feel free to steal some of these ideas if you want. It's available for anyone. So we have this. We have running sprite. We have idle sprite. Okay, this one doesn't have the arm swinging animations. I should have opened up Vacuous Sugar Quest instead. Let's see, was it? Which one was it? This one? Yes. Let's copy these 3 frames. Okay, so this one, new tag, run. I believe this one should be ping pong. Right, well, how long are these animations? 80. I realize that my best brainstorming is when I'm not in front of the PC. When you're cooking. He was in fact cooking though. So true, so true. Okay, so new empty frame. This is gonna be the idle frame. Alright, this one should be here. Let him cook, so true. Alright, so the idle animation is here. And we copy this one. Oh, how do I do that? We copy this one. And you paste it. What, how did I copy how did I copy multiple frames last time? Is it because this is hidden? Copy. Control C. Okay, I've copied it. I like to paste it. It only is it because it's the last one? It's the first frame, perhaps? And if I did it here instead, okay, that's what it was. It's kind of weird that it doesn't just let you do that. Nope. Okay. Whatever, it's fine. New tag, idle. Let's delete this one. Okay. Do Looper the Bruce Willis movie game? I don't even know what that is. I simply just don't know. New tag. Instead of idle, this is going to be run. I haven't seen it. I don't usually watch movies. When people reference movies, I most likely don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we got 80 milliseconds, and then this one is 500 milliseconds. Alright. And this should also be ping pong. Okay. It's a good one. Wait, this one should also be ping pong. Okay, we got some sprite here. We're gonna go to the previous directory. GMTK Game Jam, entities, player.asprite. Okay. And then we load up the good old thing. Good old asprite wizard. Of course, you gotta have it. Imagine not having asprite wizard. Could not be me. Alright, and then you gotta go enable it, of course. Plug in the asprite wizard. And you also always gotta reload the project. Alright. Cool. Very cool, very cool. We have it now. Alright, so we gotta make a player. Create new scene, player.scene. And then in the player thing, you gotta have the sprites 2D. And then in the sprite 2D, you gotta also have animation player. Alright, and then here you gotta choose animation player. A sprite file is going to be this one. Okay, we have a guy now. A guy is now here. Right there. Alright, so you gotta autoplay the idle animation. That's gonna be the first one. And then we create a script. Attach script player.gd. Alright, this should be, it should change the type. It's going to be a character body 2D. And then attach script. Can I send an idea for a loopy game? Is it like a video or like a Steam link or an itch.io game? Welcome, Defins. Alright, we have character body 2D. Let's see. So we don't really need any of this stuff. The player will simply move until it hits a wall and then flip the other way. And then we need some logic to detect whether you are in a loopable area. Right, that's a thing that exists. Send an idea for a loopy. It did. That's the same question that you asked? Do you listen? Do you hear my response to your question though? Okay, so we can have a. Is that a child now? Oh, that's a looping. I get it. You're looping because you were looping. Oh shoot, I didn't even understand. It was so meta. I was in a room once. They locked me in a room with the rats. Were they looping? The rats were looping. Let's add a collision shape 2D. Right, this one. Wait. What? What if it was a game about someone spamming your chat with the same message, and then you gotta like, you're a moderator in Twitch chat? You have to like ban people, but they're like posting the same message. They're posting the same copy pasta. What if that was a thing? You could implement the rat meme, but how would that work? You are a chat moderator that has to delete copy pastas. Perhaps. Isn't that a fun one? That could be a fun one. They're like looping. They're like constantly. Oh, what if? Wait. There's not enough games like about streams. Like, what if you were watching a stream, and then you choose a time to loop? What if there was like a video that played, and you had like, there's like, you know, here's the time, you can choose it, and then here's like right here, and then things happen. But then you could be like, okay, loop from this section to this section, and then I don't know, something happens, something like that. Something like that. Oh yeah, you can make clips, and then the clips will auto loop, perhaps. I don't know, something. A game about video looping of some sort. Video or stream looping. Making clips. I don't know. There's some good ideas in here. A lot of good ideas. Unfortunately, I'm going to be implementing this one. Okay, we got collision shape. Let's add a capsule shape right over here. It's gonna be like this. And like that. First thing I thought was the DJing thing of looping, making incremental additions. That's also a thing that DJs do. They do sample their own music and then loop it. DJ music making with loops. That is a possibility as well. You could consider, perhaps. Okay, but first of all, though, we got to define our collision layers. Layer 1 is terrain, layer 2 is player, layer 3 is loopable, I don't know, loop, let's just call it loop. So player is in the player layer. It can collide with terrain and loop. Okay. So now in the player script, they will just move forward. We have speed, we're gonna have velocity dot x equals speed. Well, hold on, we gotta, okay. If you, okay, you just move. What are we doing here? You have gravity. If you are not on floor, apply gravity. We don't need to apply jump. Maybe we'll add jumping later. Move and slide. And then you gotta check if you've collided with anything, right? Var collisions equals move and slide. How do you get collisions in Godot? Using character body 2D. A move and slide. What does it return? Oh wait, there's literally detecting collisions. Move and slide. Get slide collision count. Okay. So then move and slide, and then you gotta do get slide collision count. If get slide collision count greater than, it's also gotta check whether you've collided with the whatchamacallit, terrain or an area. Collision.get collider. Okay, so this one, gotta be checking things. There's gotta be things. Okay, what if we just have this like this for now? If it's greater than 0, velocity.x times equals -1. So now you're facing the other way. On ready, you gotta have velocity equals velocity.x equals speed. Right. So now, now what? When does a player ever stop? Do we even need an idle animation? I don't think so. So animation player, we're gonna have a reference to this. You should start off by playing the run animation. Right. And then we gotta have a world. It's gonna be a world scene. And then in this world scene, we should have a, what's it called? The static body 2D. This is gonna be the ground, I think. It's gonna have a collision shape, which is going to be a, is that segment separation ray? Is that what this is? Separation ray 2D. No, it's gonna be a what's it called? World boundary shape. That's what it is. So it's over here. This one. And then we have player. We have player right here. And then in screens, we're gonna have a new scene, which is root. This is going to be the root scene. We've set this up many times before. This is going to be a... Also, I have not hydrated. I was gonna drink water 5 minutes ago and I have not done so. I'm gonna do that right now. Alright, I've done it. Okay, so root, this is going to be a control node. It's going to fit the, okay, we gotta also set the size. I don't know why they always have the window size be this weird value. It's gotta be 1280 by 720. Welcome, Cowfriend. Is Web Fishing Wednesday canceled? Yes. We're done with web fishing. There's a game jam right now, which is why we're not doing it. But even if we were not doing the game jam, I think I said I was gonna do Animal Crossing instead, because there's like too much web fishing. You know, no one even plays web fishing anymore. No one cares about web fishing. Gotta go back to Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing fishing, that's where it's at. Alright, what's this one called? It was called, it wasn't Canvas Layer. What was it called? Shoot, what was it called? I forget. There was a thing. Canvas Layer? Viewport. There's a viewport. Sub viewport container. Glad to see you're doing more cool projects. Yeah, there's a game jam. The theme is loop. You could make a game about looping somehow. Okay, so this one we're gonna have a sub viewport. And then here you gotta have stretch. Stretch shrink is 4. Got 2 videos recommended about Tankard Deluxe editions. I don't even know what that is. What is that? What even is that? Okay, so then in sub viewport. Oh, they got the size correct. How did they get the size correct? I didn't set that up. Okay, canvas items, it's gotta be nearest. Alright. So, for debug, let's have visible collision shapes. Let's add, let's go to the world. Let's add another static body. This is gonna be wall 1. What about a game about stitching clothes like looping the thread? Yeah, we did have some ideas for similar games. Games such as looping of some sort. This is different from the tutorial on the Godot website. Which one? Which thing? Welcome, Tag Barrel. Add a collision shape. Is the game coming along? It has just started. It is just, I guess it is happening. Okay, we have rectangle shape. Rectangle shape right here. We copy and paste. Now you have another one here. Okay, so now if we go to the root scene, we should see the player moving. Okay, they're dying. What's happening? Why is that happening? Excuse me. Oh, we gotta check. Okay, it has to be the if you hit a wall. This one also counts the floor. Okay, so this is not valid. Let's see. Get slide collision count. Godot. Move and slide. Okay. Godot get collisions. Godot move and slide get wall collisions. There's something that returns the normals, right? Move and slide, and then if is on wall. Oh, you just need is on wall. That's what it is. Okay. Welcome, old man diabetes. Okay, this one, if is on wall, then velocity x. Okay, but it's not on wall though. Why is he not flipping? Velocity x is on wall. Is on wall checks for side collisions. Yeah. But why is this not doing it? Maybe we need, instead of detecting the collision, we should move before we hit it. So we could perhaps have a raycast 2D. Got raycast 2D pointing to the right. Because it's flipping back and forth, probably. It's probably what it is. However, I'm going to add a new node 2D. This is going to be our flip node. Whoops, it's the wrong order. Flip node, the sprite is in there. And then you gotta add a raycast 2D. Okay, this one should be facing the right side. Target position is going to be like, I don't know, like 10 pixels. And then it should collide with specifically terrain. Transform, position. Oh wait, should it be, it should be an area 2D, right? Because there should be, if there's a wall anywhere from here onward. It's probably a better way to do it, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have this be an area 2D. I have to admit that my first reaction was to look at VS Code NeoVim thing that uses NeoVim, see one could do that for Godot. Yes, there is a LSP that you can use. And assuming you're using this on Linux, it should be pretty easy. The reason why I'm not using it is because I'm using Windows. And my stuff is Windows subsystem for Linux. Not the LSP. What? Oh, it's because you don't want to like switch back and forth between Godot and VS Code. Welcome Dark Chaos, lol. Yes, it is in fact today. I see. I don't think it's a big deal to switch back and forth because, you know, it's actually easier because you have to do this anyway. I think it's easier to just alt-tab between the code and the 2D thing. Otherwise, you'd have to like click through this and this. But I don't know. Maybe it's fine. What was I gonna do? Alright, add new area 2D. And this thing is going to be wall check. Alright, this one's gotta have a... What is this warning me about? This warning about it has no shape. So we gotta have collision shape. 2D, it's going to be a rectangle shape, perhaps. It's a rectangular shape that is right here. Okay, so if there is a wall here, the player will turn around. So then here we go, we got the node, we add, let's see, area shape entered, body entered. Yes, body entered, connect. Wall check body entered. Then you just have, this. Alright, so you don't need this thing anymore. And then, okay, now what does wall check collide with? It collides with, terrain, which is what we want. Alright, so let's try it. So the player should be bouncing. Okay, they're not bouncing. Why are they not bouncing? Is this thing even printing? Hi. Is that not a body that has entered? What is the deal here? So we got, oh, this is, why is this, okay, this should be here. And then it is on the terrain layer. This thing is also on the terrain layer. Now, why is it not doing that? Really makes you think. Terrain mask, is that what I wanted? Mask? Oh, okay, that's okay. That's that's what I wanted. Okay, so then now you should also flip. So you get a reference to the flip node here. And then flip node dot scale is equal to sine of self dot, sorry, sine of velocity dot x. Yes, sine f. Value cannot be passed. Scale dot x actually. Okay. So this thing should now, okay, they are moving now, good. We have some logic that works. They are moving a bit too fast though. We should also remove this print line. Okay, so we have a player that moves automatically. They detect walls, and once they're against the wall, they will flip around. That's good. So now we need the thing where we can draw a rectangle, which causes the player to loop. This is going to be the hard part. Because now the player is going to be split into 4 different entities. It's going to be quite confusing, actually. How do we do that? It could still be one player. The player could simply... Oh no, it's going to be complicated actually. The player could have... what would they have? We would need to split this thing. Maybe this is a bad idea. How did they do this? How did they do this in the other game that I'm trying to copy from? Looper game h.io. How did they do this? We have to know. It's such a well-made game too. We had a good time with this one. Right, like, whoa. They're looping. They're literally looping. How do I mute the music from the game? So you could, okay, so you could press space. Now you can loop around. But then if you're like on the borders, there could be 4 of you. Oh wait, what if you can just not make... No, okay, so the reason in this game that they could avoid that is because... Wait, the player never actually exists in 2 places at a time. As soon as you hit this one, you're not on both sides. So that does simplify it a bit. If we make it so that as soon as you hit the edge, you are now on the other side, I think that would make it quite a bit easier. You would have to avoid making like multiple things. I think that makes sense. I think that's logical. You can just loop, you can just mute it from there. Alright, so let's have a loopable area 2D. Let's create a new area 2D. Yeah, it's just a position change. It's actually so much easier. Although probably still kind of hard. Okay, so let's add a new node. It's going to be a collision shape. Specifically a rectangle. And this one is here. Alright, so this area right here, I'm going to make the debug color. I've never actually used this feature before. You can actually change the debug color of shapes. So this area is going to have a collision layer of loop. And yeah. Okay, so so we have to detect when player enters a loopable area. We gotta find the bounds of the area. And then if player is clipping, is there a way to check which side of the area you're interacting with? Welcome map guy. Godot area 2D, check which side. Welcome Namington as well. How do we check? Detect which side it happened on. Check body position in comparison to tank position. Interesting. I guess it's like if you're closer to the left side than the right side, then you would go on the left. If you're closer to the right side, you would go on the right. I guess that makes sense. So then we gotta have a thing. There's a collision point. You can check if it is plus or minus. Wait, where would I find the collision point? Godot area 2D collision. What the heck is this? Where's the official area 2D function documentation? Collision object 2D. Signals. Mouse entered, mouse exit. That's not what I want. Welcome nutritious as well. Area 2D. This. Alright, let's see. We got get overlapping bodies. Returns overlapping. Okay, what about the signal? Where's the signals at? Body shape entered. Gives you the body, so you could just check the position relative to this one. Emitted when a shape 2D has received body. A tile map, local shape index contains indices of the intersecting shapes. What does that mean? Local shape index has the index of the interacting shapes. I just don't know. We simply just don't know. Well, that's fine. Okay, so We can add... I feel like we should have a specific area that only detects collision with the loopable area. If we mix and match this stuff too much, it'll get a bit confusing. So I'm going to add a separate area 2D for this. This is going to be the loop check. Loop area check. And this is going to have a collision shape. And I guess this one could just be a segment shape. It could literally just be a line. So as long as this line collides, then we don't have to worry about like if part of it collides, because as soon as this collides, we know for sure. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Loop area check, we have a unique name. And this thing will have collision with, let's see, the current layer is player, and then it has a mask for a loop area. And then we gotta have on area entered. Yeah, area entered, connect this one. On loop area check area entered. Here's how you do the splitting. There will be no splitting. We have found out that in the game I'm trying to copy from, it doesn't actually split. You were never in two places at once. And that simplifies a lot. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so on loop area check entered. We gotta check area dot shape. How do you get the shape of an area to? It's just dot shape. Shape. How do we get the shape? Does anyone know? There is definitely a way to get the shape somehow. It's probably on collision object. Shape. How do we get this shape? Get shape owners? That's not a thing. Is it shape owner? Remove shape owner? Shape find owner? How do I just get the shape? Area.shape. Is this the thing that exists? How do you, in the Godot editor, how do you like go to the documentation for this thing? There's some way to do it, right? Oh. Godot open docs for hover. Control click. Okay, so there's no variable called shape. But there is area. But how do I'm pretty sure I've done this before. How do I actually get this shape? Collision shape? Oh, because there could be multiple shapes. So you just want to get like one of the shapes. How do I get shapes? Get rectangle. Godot gets area 2D rectangle. I've apparently searched this before. Welcome Skymound. You need to get children of the area. Alright. I have definitely done that at some point. Get children 0. Lurking, thank you for watching. You use a rect2 class. No. Okay, you could just get this. This will assume that there's only one child, which is probably a reasonable assumption. I don't imagine we'll have multiple things because that would make it a lot more complicated. Sure. Get overlapping. Okay. So area dot get children. Get children. And then the first one. Is there one that I can just get first child? Get child. Okay, it's just get child. Index is 0, and then dot shape. How do I get the shape? So the first child has to be shape is going to be this thing. It is a variant for now, but then we gotta check whether the variant is a collision shape. So if shape is collision shape 2D, then shape dot shape. Okay, call this one collision shape instead, because we have shape dot shape is kind of confusing. Collision shape dot shape. If collision shape dot shape is a rectangle shape 2D, then well, hold on. Shape is collision shape dot shape. Okay, and then this one, if shape is rectangle shape 2D, then wait, what's wrong with this? Oh, var shape. Var shape cannot infer the type of shape because it's a variant. Math. I've not done any math yet. There's no math here. It's not. There's no math. If shape is rectangle shape, okay, and then rectangle shape 2D. Rectangle shape 2D. Size, okay. So it has a size and a position. So then, okay, so on collision with loop area check, you gotta get the global position, right? So how would I do this? It would have to be what do I do? Okay, shape dot size. Is there a way to get like the extents? There's some way to do that, right? Godot get extents of a rectangle shape 2D. Without having to like add it manually. There's probably some way, right? A rectangle. Can I just get the bounding rectangle of something? Godot get bounding rectangle of area 2D. And then just assume that that is a thing. There's gotta be, right? There has to be. I'm pretty sure that there is something. Bounding box script. Convex hole. What? Getting extents of a node 2D. Dot shape dot extents. Okay, there's just a thing called dot extents. Okay, see, the annoying part about the Godot docs is that this thing does have a thing called extents, but then because that thing is defined in one of these things, well, hold on, where even is it? Is it actually on the, it's on the collision shape dot shape. But where do we get the extents? Is this the old version of, this might be an old version. Rectangle shape 2D. Get rect. Yeah, get rect. I remember I made a joke about this. Get rect. Oh yeah, there it is. There's get rect. Okay. So yes, we would have collision shape dot get rect. Okay, so this is the bounding box. of the collision shape. Cannot infer type of bounding rect. Why? Is that not a rect too? Collision shape dot shape. Okay, what if I just say that it is a rect 2? Okay, so now we have the bounding rect. And then what do we do with it? Good question. So now that we have this, we know the position. We know the start and end. So position is going to be the top left, end is going to be the bottom right. We should check which one we are closest to. Or intersection. What is that? Intersection? Welcome, Miss Stavel. What means hag? It means I'm old. It's because I'm old. Okay. So, bounding, I'm just gonna call it rect. Rect. Okay. So we have rect dot. Now, is this global position though? Global position origin point. Is there like global end? Global? Is this inherently global? Get rect. Or godot get rect. Where was that previous page? There's local to global. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Get rect. Local, what is it called? Local to global. Local. If not built in, there are ways. I mean, I guess I could just add it, right? Rect, okay, so rect dot position. Oh, to local, is that a thing? No. Well, I just don't know. There's got to be like an easier way to do this, right? Isn't this like a common thing where people want to check if you collided with the left side or the right side of something? Surely, right? Godot check which side of area 2D is colliding. Check which side. Which side of area 2D? Grab global position and see if X is bigger from both bodies. But then what about like vertically though? Because like if you hit it from the left side, you wouldn't want them to teleport to the top or bottom, right? You would want to check. I guess you could check whether left is closest or right is closest or top is closest. What do you get from collision event? You get the area that collided. If it's a body though, you get the actual normal. But because this is an area, you don't get that. Unless there is some way to do it, I don't know. Is there a way on the other side, if the area 2D, if that one has the collision with the, if we set this to be a body instead, doesn't that give you like the normal? Wasn't that like a thing? Godot area 2D. So I believe if you have the signal here, welcome props not Jack. It's a body entered. No, it gives you the node 2D. Body shape entered. There's something that gives you the normal. But maybe that's only on collision. It's not, because like the area entered, you could be like in the middle of the area. You could draw like a square around the player and suddenly they're like in the middle. Which is also a thing that I should think about. You know what? Whatever. Rect dot global position. ToLocal was in the node 2D, not in the position. Okay. Well, I guess for now we can just handle left and right. So if you are within 1 pixel of the left boundary, move the player to the right -1 pixel. I think that would work. Okay, so in Rect 2, we have the position. I'm going to assume that this is a global position. Rect.position. Okay, so then, so we got player's position .x. So then we do if player dot, sorry, this is your own position, var x equals well, let's just do this. What am I doing? If your rectangle position minus global position dot x is less than global position if this thing is, wait, is there a thing that checks whether 2 floats are within a certain range? Check if 2 floats are close together without subtracting. I mean, it probably does subtraction under the hood, right? Is equal approx. Does that allow me to specify the threshold? Is equal approx. Where is that? Allow passing? Okay, I guess probably not. Alright, whatever. So then if this thing is less than or equal to 1 pixel, then you set the player's global position to the rectangle end position. Global position equals rect.end.x. Global position.x equals rect.end x minus 1.0, because then you don't want to be immediately on the other side. Oh wait, this should be on area exited, because this is when you're trying to leave the loop area. I think that makes sense. Okay, let's add on area exited instead. Because entering the area does nothing. It's when you're trying to leave that you loop around. We can delete this one. Let's disconnect this one. Okay. So then we have this one, and then the other one you want to check if you're on the other side. So if you're on the right side, rectangle position dot end dot position is less than or equal to 1. Then you set it to the start. Global position x equals rect dot position dot x plus 1. Now we've not handled horizontal movement just yet. Sorry, vertical movement. Now let's just see if this works. No, it does not work. Okay. Why not? Let's print exited. Let's just check if we're actually triggering this thing. Okay, we are exiting. It is detecting the exit. So then let's check if this is actually here. Good old print line debugging. It is printing. Welcome, Hamplo. Okay, and then we gotta print out the rectangle position. And also the player's position. rectangle position and player's position. The global position. Now it might not be global. Maybe that's the issue. Okay, so rectangle has negative position, which indicates that it's probably local position. Local to what though? What is it local to? It's local to the actual thing. Is there, can I just get the rect of the collision shape itself? Is that a thing? Node 2D. It does not have get rect. Canvas item. Does canvas item have a rectangle? Apparently not. Okay, well we gotta find out how to get this thing to be relative. Alt-Jakar, you were already here. You're waving, but at someone else? Unbelievable. Okay, so we have position. Do we want to print out? Yes, you are waving at hand flow. So true, so true. What if we just, is there a way to just add a vector 2 to a rectangle? Let's see. Direct 2. Position, size. Get area, has point. Intersection is finite, merge. How do I increase the position? Do I, what if I add the position, does this adjust it? It's recommended setting the width and height to non-negative values. Zoom position. Setting this also affects the endpoint. Okay. Sure. Alright, what if we simply do rect.position plus equals? I'm going to assume that this rect2 is actually a value rather than a reference, and so updating the position will not actually change where it's located. So rect position plus equals area dot global position, perhaps. Nope, it's not working. All right. Why does it always go, like when I close the game, why does it not go back to the script tab? This did not always happen. It used to not do that. Maybe I changed something. But okay, we could have, let's see, rect2, absolute and closes expand. Grow side, merge. Position. Alright, what if we just had two variables? Var top left is equal to rect.position plus, it's going to be area dot global position plus this, and then we have bottom right is area dot global position plus rect dot end. Okay, and then rather than checking these, I will simply, what's it complaining about? Is it because it's not used? Rect position is going to be top left dot x is equal to this thing. And then instead of rect.n, it's going to be bottom right. And you also set this here. Alright, does this work? Does not work. Why? Why does it not work? I probably should not have removed my print line statements. Position is equal to... Actually, you could just do this. Do you know that you could simply just add a comma? So it's going to be a global position. And then you want to print top left and bottom right. Alright, are these even close? Why is it still minus 33? Area global position is for some reason... Okay, what if I just printed area's global position? It's probably 0. Area's global position is probably 0. Yeah, okay, so... Why is this like that? It's because the shape, it's the shape's global position. It should be collision shape. Instead of area, what is this BGM? There's a thing on the bottom left that has the exact title of the song. It's from Wooloop. Okay, what if it was collision shape dot global position? Cannot infer type. What the? Collision shape is a node 2D. It must be a node 2D. Please, why is it not working? So then area position, area, position. Oh, it is within a close enough boundary. I think it would need to be within 2 pixels, maybe. It does not work. Why does it not work? So your position, it is close. It is within 2, right? Because position is like 92 point something. Top left is 94. Oh, it's 2 because the player has left the area, which means it's no longer within the area. It should be within speed, right? Speed times delta. If they have just left, then... Well, if they've just left, we don't need to check the threshold. We just need to see which one they're closer to. Right. Although I guess this would also affect the vertical. I don't know. Are we looping? Not yet. We have not looped at all yet. Wait, but this should be doing something, right? We should be seeing we being printed. It is being printed, so the player's location is not actually being up. Oh, it should be set to the top right, bottom right. Oh, that's what it is. I've been doing it wrong. It should be this. Which means, oh shoot, it's working. I've gotten it to work. We are now looping. We are in fact looping now. Alright, that's cool. And then what? And then what? Now what? We could take the collision shape. We could be like, if you're on this side, you could do this. Oh shoot, isn't that so cool? You can go around the other side because you've drawn a square around it. I think I'll be going to bed maybe looking at what you did to learn tomorrow. Yeah, I just looked up documentation. Alright, so this works. This is in fact a thing that works. I think I could simplify this thing a bit. It doesn't need to be whether the distance is this. It could be if you are less than something, right? So then this could be if global position dot x is less than top left dot x, then global position dot x equals bottom right dot x minus 1. And then else global position dot x is greater than bottom right dot x. Then you do this thing. And then that. So we don't need this stuff. Or any of this stuff. Alright, so when you leave the area, you go there. That's cool. And we could do the same thing for vertical. So then you go here, you just copy this stuff. And then replace x with y. If this was Vim, I would have done this much faster. I would have simply selected 4 things and then replace x with y. Okay, so if you're top left, y, bottom right, y. Okay, so right now this does nothing. But if we go to the world scene, we move this up here. The player should now be looping. Oh shoot, it works. It literally works. But we need to do this before they've left though, that's the thing. Because they are leaving the bounds of it, and then it's detecting that you've left. It needs to be like, not doing that. What if we put this up here, so the player doesn't actually hit the ground? So now, okay, now we need a limit to their vertical movement. Terminal velocity. It's got to be like, I don't know, what's a good terminal velocity? 200 perhaps. Okay, so then velocity dot y equals velocity.y plus getGravity.y times delta. And then you gotta have this one be min of this in terminal velocity. So now they should not fall at such a rapid speed. Alright, well that's good. Now the issue is that they are extending past the area before teleporting. Which, like, if there was stuff down here, they would be colliding with it, which I don't want. But how would we do that? How would we... Because this is detecting when they've left the area. Ideally, they will not have left the area. Oh wait, also this is checking just the X position. We should be checking, because like this thing right here has a verticality as well. Horizontal being just X is fine. Vertically, I think we would need to check the height of the loop area. Loop area check dot rect. Let's have on ready. We can get the rectangle of the loop area check. So we have this thing, and we have another onReady var, loop, player height, loop area height, I don't know, loop area height is a float, and this is equal to loop area dot get direct. No, is that not a thing? Loop area check dot get rect. Does that exist? Get rect exists on the shape. It's gonna be kind of annoying. Oh no, we could just get this thing. We could simply have loop area shape. It's going to be a collision shape 2D. It's going to be loop area check slash. No, we don't need this thing to be unique. We would need. Okay, no, it's fine. Loop area check slash collision shape 2D. Alright, we get loop area shape dot get rect dot height. What is it? Rect 2. Get the where is it? Size dot y. Okay, loop area check height. So then this one we gotta check, yeah, rect 2, so true. So bottom right y minus loop area check height, and then bottom right y plus loop area check height. Yep. Non-existent function get rect in base collision shape 2D. Right, because it's not shape. Loop area shape dot shape. Yes, obviously. Okay, now it is teleporting the player above there. Maybe it should be divided by 2. Perhaps. It feels slightly better. Oh, they've left the area? That's not supposed to happen. Wait a second. How do I stop that from happening? Well, we could have the drawn area and just be slightly bigger, right? Is that a thing that I could do? Well, we can't necessarily detect whether the player has exited. Also, I should drink water. It is, in fact, past 7 p.m. Alright, I've done it. Let's see, how do I stop that? So if we didn't have the area exited, we would need to something. We would need to something. But how specifically to something? I don't know. How would I even do this? It's kind of tricky. It's pretty tricky though. because it would ideally be done before they leave the area. Now we could, perhaps, we could have a thing that like checks. We could use this collision shape to check. Are you allowed to use existing assets? Yes. Yes, you are. If this collision shape, if we use this thing, this would be detected before the player is actually out of the area. There's probably a better way to do it though. How would I even do that? It's like if you're about to leave an area, but I want this to be before. Oh, what if we can detect where we're going to be the next frame? And then if that thing is outside the area, do the teleportation stuff. How would I do that? How would we even do that though? We could have this, we could have a shape that's like this. And then we could change the size of this shape based on our velocity. Or perhaps, what if we just had a vector from the middle? We could have a raycast node that is pointing. No, how would I do that? There's gotta be something. Is there a way to check where I'm going to be the next frame? Godot check. Check collisions on next frame. Check collisions without actually applying them. Wait, isn't there a thing that does that? Godot, character body. I could swear that there was something that's like test the collision before actually doing it. Godot test collision without actually doing it. I don't know what to search for this. Test how to check collision without using physics. That's not what I wanted. Area node, overlapping areas, check collision without stopping. How do I detect collisions without immediately resolving them? Just use area hitboxes? No. Allow detecting collisions without default collision response. Detect collisions without physically colliding. Add area 2D. Test move. Wait, that's what I want. Test move. Test move. But this is the old Godot. Godot test move. Does test move not exist anymore? No, test move, where is this defined? Test move current shape, is that part of shape? Test move in the documentation. Kinematic body 2D. Godot character body 2D. Test move. There is no test move defined here. Physics body 2D has test move. Does area 2D have test move? What does test move even do? Check for collisions without moving the body. Sets the nose position, rotation scale. Tries to move the body along the vector. Returns true if collision would stop the body from moving along the whole path. But this assumes that they're solid collidable bodies though. Whereas this one is just like it's an area 2D, which is not necessarily a thing. This is a bit more complicated than I thought. Okay, what if I simply what if I were to check. Can I check area entered before applying movement? That doesn't make sense. It's not even logical. This shouldn't even work. And yet it is not working. It's too much. So it's simply too much for me to understand. You know, I bet this would be easier if I did it in Pico 8. That's probably not true. But I would have had more control because I'd be manually implementing everything. This thing specifically though, it occurs after it's exited. Now what if I made an area 2D that is... That doesn't make sense. I'm not even completing my thoughts right now. Quite complicated. How do they do a vertical movement in this game? How are they doing it? Do they even do it? So they had this, right? You can go here. Now you're on this side. You can't create one of these when you're in the air, so you would have to set this here. And then you would go on this side. You could jump up here. Okay, but you could set one here. How do they do this one from here? But like, what if you set this here? You will not collide with that thing. What if I just set the terminal velocity low enough that this is not going to be an issue? Maybe the issue is that my velocity is too much. We are allowing too much velocity. What if terminal velocity was 100? Oh, that's too slow though. What if it was 150? They're still going down there. Just don't know. We simply just don't know. Now, is it because, maybe it's because this thing should actually be, so this one is if you are less than this. If you're greater than this, we should set your height to be top left dot y plus this, right, and then plus 1. And then if you're on the bottom, it should be and then what? It should just be this. I don't know. That's not it. What if it was this? But now they're going up too far. This is quite complicated. What the heck just happened right there? Do you see that? Where did they go? What the? The player just disappeared at some point? They just disappeared? That's not supposed to happen. What if I give up on this idea? What if I simply just gave up on this idea and tried a different one? I've already spent at least an hour on this one. It turns out it's harder than I thought. No, surely it's possible, right? I think I should just have a thing. What happened? See, the issue is that I'm detecting when the player leaves the body, but then they could already be colliding with stuff outside. And also this thing happened. I don't know what this thing is. Issues that we're detecting once they've left, but then, you know, if they've already left, they might collide with stuff outside. But I would like to do it before they leave. And then I'm like, what if I had like an area 2D that is equal to your velocity vector? It's like you're going to be here next frame. And then check whether that is in the area. Looper stops the movement. I mean, the movement, they are still moving. What do you mean by it stops the movement? Whoops. They do still move. So like when they're here, right? They will not collide with this thing, despite the fact that in the next frame they might be colliding with that thing. Warps them before they hit the wall? Yes. But I need to know how I would do that. Whoa, what the heck? I think we need a check before we actually move. I think we do need some kind of collision detection to check whether your next thing would be outside the area. Even more different, it's like there's a different area they find themselves in. What does that mean? What does he mean by this? Like you're here, and then what? Man. Try falling. It was most prominent there. Try falling from where? Like, from here? I saw what for a bit? See how you disappear halfway. Where is halfway? You mean like before we hit this thing? Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it so that if you were about to leave, I know that's what I want to do. I just need to figure out how to do it. I'm aware of what I would like. I just need to know how. We could have an area that is equal to, if you go to the side, there's an area where you are inside a pocket dimension. What? Calculate, welcome Nano Aquila. You could calculate your vector or use a scene as a loop area. Calculate my vector. Or you mean like if I could just make this a scene? Calculate. I was gonna think like I could calculate where I'm going to go, but then I would need to like move. I need to move this thing and then check collision. I guess that's possible. Like the loop area check should really be where I'm going to be rather than where I currently am. So I guess maybe it's actually simpler if I just go like here and then. I should probably commit this first though, before I start messing stuff up. Git status, git add everything. Git status, git commit, partially working loop area. Somewhat. Let's set the terminal velocity back to what it was before. And then let's set this thing back to be something else. What is this link? What is that? It's them there. Yes. Alright, let's try this again first. Okay, so this was, okay, this one, that's the partially working part. Pocket dimension. I mean, that just means that their hitbox is not fully entered the thing. Oh, wait. Right. I mean, yeah, I'm aware that the this part is cut off because they're not there, but that's a thing for later. I'm aware that this thing should be cut off. Hold on. Let's commit this, right. Partially working loop area. Okay, so here, physics process, we should then, we should calculate our velocity. Velocity times delta. So this is going to be next position. So we gotta set the loop area check. It's gotta be there. I guess I could just do this, right? This thing could be there. So loop area check dot position equals velocity times delta. So now the loop area is going to check where we are going to be. That didn't fix it at all. Move and slide. Loop area check position is equal to velocity times delta. Is that even right? Our velocity, hold on, we should be able to see it. It is actually going. Oh, maybe because it's... Maybe this thing should be shorter. Collision shape could be like 1 pixel. Like, is that anything? No, that is in fact not anything. Oh no, because if we're changing, it could be 1 frame in the area, 1 frame not in the area. So we would need to have this. How would we do this? We would need to not set this thing. We would need to set the center point of this to be something, and then the actual A value is going to be here, right? Is this A? That is A. And then B should be equal to where we're going to be in the next frame. I think. Maybe. No, because by that time you've already left. Oh, so then this should be on area entered rather than area exit. Is that true? Maybe that's true. Let's go back here. On area entered, connect here. Alright, just copy this thing and put this in here. Is this anything? No. No, it's not. It's because we start off already in the area. So what if we move the player here? What if we move the player here? No, because we assume that you're leaving. Oh man, what am I doing? It should be when this thing is not entirely in the area. How do we do that? We need to check whether part of it is just about to leave the area. Is that possible? Godot area. This is too hard. This is too much thinking. And I need to make levels for this. It's too much. Collision shape 2D. So we need to check before you fully exited. But no, why would this not work though? This should work. The issue is just... What is the issue here? Go to the player. We set this collision shape. Instead of being a segment, it could be like a small circle. Just a small circle. Okay, and then we gotta check whether this thing, what if it was the same shape as the player collision shape? What if I simply just copied this? How do I copy this? There's some way to copy this, right? Copy, can I copy this? I could have sworn. These are resources, so you should be able to reference this in another thing. Alright, whatever. It's gonna be a circle for now. Does this work? It probably doesn't work. It definitely does not work. But what if it was like a really small circle? No, the player is still moving outside. Script. On area exit, get the collision shape. Why is it on exit? Because there's various reasons for that. It's because it's when you're trying to leave the shape. On enter would be when you're walking into the shape. But then, if you're already in the shape, then this thing would be, you would be tracking when it exits, right? Maybe, I don't know. Perhaps that's it. What if we just had left and right? You want to define a wall? What do you mean? You collide with it and push against it for more than 2 frames, you warp. I guess we could make it so that we had like four rectangles around the area, and then that could have collision, and then if you collide with that, then you warp. I guess maybe we could do that. Let me think about this. Maybe. Okay, what if we had a thing? What if we had a new entity, which is loop area. Create new folder, loop area. Okay, then we make a new scene. Loop area, that scene. Okay, this thing is going to have 4 collision shapes. Let's attach a script to this. So loop area, it's going to export a variable. It's going to have the size. It's going to have a size. It's going to be a rect 2D. Right. Could not find type rect 2D. Is that not a thing? Oh, it's just a rect 2. Okay, rect 2. All right. And then, let's see, in this loop area, we're going to have 4 collision shape. It's going to have a, what is this going to be? It's going to be a new type, a static body 2D. Change type, static body 2D. Okay, and then static body 2D, we're going to have loop area, extend static body 2D, and then in this one we have collision. It'll have collision layer, it's going to be a loop, it's going to have collision mask player. Alright, then we have a we're going to have a collision shape 2D. We're going to have 4 collision shapes. Is there a way to do this? Welcome, Mafioso Churroso. Congrats on downloading Godot. We're gonna have a is there a collision polygon? Can we make like a thing with the with a hollowed out square in the middle? Is that possible? Godot area collision shape with hollow area. Is there a way to like negate collision shapes? You have like two rectangles and then like one of them is like a subtractive one. Convex collision shapes. Concave or tri-mesh collision shapes. Collision shape 2D. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that I can do? I don't know. Loop area. I couldn't understand nothing, but brackies will help me. Yeah, good luck. There's a lot of good tutorials out there. I didn't even know Godot like several months ago, and now I know some things. I am now aware of several things. Shape. Collision shape. Polygon. Start back in 3.2? Dang, it's a long time ago. Godot collision shape invert. It is also my favorite engine. It's pretty nice. Have you used Unity before? Oh, then if you already know like a different engine, you probably can pick this one up faster than I did. Because like I had no experience with other engines really, besides Pico 8, which is not really an engine. Invert collision shapes. How do I do this? Concave collision is very slow. There's a tri-mesh. What is a tri-mesh? I don't even know. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna make 4 rectangles. Oh wait, no, it doesn't have to be it could be a world boundary shape. Right, we could just set the world boundary shape. Just have 4 of them. Is there a way to have multiple? Godot static body with multiple collision shapes. Is that a thing? Can you have multiple collision shapes in a physics body? Set collider. Have colliders in a colliders. What? Multiple non-transform collision shapes. One static body, multiple collision shapes. That's what I want. Is that possible? One static body with multiple collision shapes. I guess maybe that just works. Left. This one is down. Should I call it like bottom? Bottom, top, left, right. Add a new one, a new collision shape. This one is also a world boundary shape. Bottom left. So left should be facing this way. Angle normal is 1 and 0. Okay, and you gotta have a right one. Oops, collision shape 2D. Right. And that is it's one of these ones, and then this one's gonna have normal is -1. another one for top. And it's another world boundary shape. And this one's going to have y equals 1. Okay. And then on init of loop area, this is what we do. On ready, let's assign all of these to have unique names. And put these here. For some reason, left was not included. But it's here now. Okay, so then on ready, what do we do? You want this thing. You want to set the position, the transform dot position. Let's see, top dot position equals, I guess it would be at the top left, so we don't need to change top position. It's always going to be 0. Top position dot y equals 0. Bottom dot position dot y equals size dot y. Left dot position dot x is 0, and bottom dot, right dot position dot dot x equals size dot x. Okay, so now we should have 4 walls that all have something. Cannot find member x in rect2. Size dot width. Hold on. Size. What is a rect2? Size dot. Oh, size dot size. Wait, this should just be a vector 2 then. This doesn't need to be a rect. Alright, and then process, we don't need anything for process. Okay. Sure. The convexity doesn't really matter if it's 10 polygons in a small game. Perhaps true. Okay, so we have player, right? Player is here. And then we have... Okay, so on move and collide, we should check whether the thing we're colliding with is a thing. Some kind of thing. Here. Okay, player script. We could probably get rid of this stuff. Let's just return for now. Alright, and then we go back to the world. Instead of this thing, we're gonna have a a loop area. Right, and this thing is gonna be here. We're gonna set this one to be well, actually when the player starts off, they're outside the area. So would we need an inner thing to check that they were in the area first? Actually, I guess in Looper, you can never start off outside the area. In this one, you always start off inside, which prevents this issue. Whatever. Okay, what if we start off in the area, just for simplicity? And then in the loop area, we set the size. It's going to be, I don't know, like 50, 100 by like 50 or something. Then you go here, and then in this thing, you will have a... what do we do? We don't need loop area check anymore. Welcome, Oldscop. Okay, so move and slide. We gotta check whether player has collided with a loop area. So it does have a class name. You go here to the player. It does have a collision mask with loop. And then, let's see. You want to iterate through the collisions. Character body 2D. So here we gotta get the get slide collision count collided with this thing. Wait, we could probably add that as part of the loop area itself. We could simply have, if colliding with the bottom, then do this. If colliding with the left, then do this. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, we can't do that. Can we do that? No, you can't. Okay, you can't do that. You have to go to the player. Alright, so you get slide collision count, you get collision. Get collider is a node. Is there a way to get the collision normal? Kinematic collision 2D. Get collider, get angle. Okay. Collision dot get angle. Okay, so then, so we have the normal of the collision. If normal dot x, if this one, wait, hold on. Collision equals this thing. Collision dot get collider is this thing. If collider is a loop area, then you do this. Normal. Okay, let's just try this. Print normal. We should collide. This is not going to teleport us, but we should be doing something. So there are some things being set here. It goes left, it goes right. We have a box surrounding the player. And then normal is 0 for some reason. Why is that 0? Why is the angle 0? What? Get angle. Return the collision angle according to up direction. Value is always positive. What? Oh, get normal. That's okay. Get normal. That's what I wanted. Get normal. Okay, so we have the normal. Okay, that's good. And then if normal dot y is less than 0, it's not only 0 but also 360. So true. And also 720. And also infinite other angles. Alright, so if normal y is less than 0, it means it's pointing up, which means we should be teleported to the top. So then we should set global position is equal to collider.position. Sorry, global position dot y equals collider position dot y plus some amount. Is there a way to check hold on, we gotta add the height of our collider here. Collision shape 2D. Okay, access as unique name. Put this here. And collision shape 2D. Okay, so that has a shape that has a rectangle. Shape.getRect.size here. Var size equals collision shape 2D dot shape dot get rect dot size. Alright, so global position equals collider position plus size dot y. And then else if, well, it should be, yeah, else if normal dot y is greater than 0, then global position equals collider dot position dot y, global position dot y, plus collider dot size. I should take notes here. Bottom, top. Alright, so global position plus this thing minus size.y. And then you gotta have the left and right. So normal dot y. If normal dot x is less than 0, it means you've collided with the right one. So I should do this first. Okay, global position dot x equals collider position dot x plus size dot. Wait, no, this should be. I had it right. It's gonna be this thing, but also this thing. Right. Minus plus collider size dot y, and then size dot y. All right. Is this anything? Is this even? Wait. This is wrong. This one should be dot x. Okay, something is wrong though. Welcome accessory. Why is this happening? Oh, because this thing should be x instead. Of course. No, it's wrong. Why is it wrong though? Why is this wrong? We should be adding a little bit more size, right? Because otherwise it will still be colliding. This thing should be -1. This thing should be +1. This thing should be -1. What am I creating? A game involving looping. Well, this works for part of it. Now for some reason, once you've looped once, it stops working. If normal.x is less than 0, if you're on the right side, global position.x equals collider position.x plus size. Oh wait, is this wrong? Wait a second. This should be, if normal x is less than 0, it means you're pointing to the, you've collided with the right side. Let's just make this clearer. Waller. Bottom. I know it's not a wall if it's on the bottom. The floor, ceiling. Bottom. Floor. Alright, so if you collided with the right wall, then Then what? Then you should teleport to the left. So you get global position. No, that's right. And then if you're on the left side, if you've collided with the... Wait. It's the left wall. You should move to the right. And this would be this thing. That seems right. And then minus player size, -1. But why? Well, why? It works once. And then it stops working. Why is that? I just don't know. Simply just don't know. Man, okay. Bottom position, size Y. Bottom position is size. Right position is size. Top position, don't even need to set this. Why does that not work? Is it because, what if I increase the thing? What if we do this? What if that's it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, because once we've collided with a wall, our velocity going horizontally is 0. We need to set it back. Welcome, Xjob. We need to set our speed back. Let's see. We need our previous speed. We should move and slide, teleport, and then keep our previous speed. Okay. Unless we've hit the wall. Okay, var prev velocity is equal to velocity. And then you move and slide, and then if you have collided with the wall, you should set velocity back. You should maintain your existing velocity. Learning Godot too? Nice. There are other people in the chat also learning Godot. Okay, I got it to work. Can you believe it? Finally, we have a looping thing working. It only took the entire stream. Amazing. Okay, but now what? Now what? Now is where the hard part starts, is actually defining the game plan. Okay, what if we did this? Oh shoot, he's actually moving? He's actually going? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Alright, what if this was a size 100? Okay, look at that. We have some looping. He's looping, schmoving. Oh, kind of nice. And then we could add particle effects. We could simply copy Looper. I'm literally just copying someone else's game. We could add some nice particle effects. We could add other things, perhaps. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, anyway, I'm going to commit this. Let's add entities, loop area, working loop area with rigid body walls. Sure, okay. I guess that's gonna be it for today, though. I will probably work on this off stream. I guess, probably, I don't know. That should be cool, right? Cool times, good times. Okay, sure. We don't need really this stuff. What did I just change? I deleted some code. I should probably do that off stream. Alright, well that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. I will check to make sure this has synchronized to my other computer before I close it. GMTK game jam, git log. Okay, so it has synchronized. It's gonna be it. Next stream is gonna be on Friday, so if I've made any progress on this game by then, that's when you'll see it. Otherwise, I don't know. We do have a lot of good ideas though. If I don't like this one, I might do another one, a different idea. But I think this one could work, perhaps, for some things. Anyway, what day is it? National Cheesecake Day? It's a bunch of days, a lot of days today. I think that makes the most sense for a raid message. National Cheesecake Day raid. Is there a relevant emoji for cheesecake? Probably cheese and cake. Yep, it's probably just cheese and cake. It's here. Didn't know that you have Twitch. Many people, they don't know, but now you know. And thanks for stopping by. Alright, let's find out who's streaming. Who do I raid today? A bunch of people are streaming. Let's take a look. Who do I send you to today? Is anyone else? What if I find someone else doing GMTK Game Jam? There's gotta be many people. Not daring to do International Day of Friendship? That's too much. That's too much pressure. Okay, I have some people that I follow that are doing software and game dev. But what about someone that I don't know? What if I raid some random person that I don't know? What if I search for GMTK specifically? There are a few people. There's a few people doing GMTK. There's some people. Wait, wasn't this person watching me the other day? But they're on a BRB screen. I can't just send you to a BRB screen. What the heck? Or maybe I can. Maybe I do. I don't know how long they've been BRB, so maybe I don't send you there. Okay, let's go back. This is the longest part of the stream. Me finding someone to raid. GMTK. GMTK Game Jam. Ideally, it would also be like a VTuber or something. There's some people. No, you know, I'm just gonna send you to what about SC_channel is having a 3D debut and 3-year anniversary. Oh, she's also on a BRB screen? Man. Can't believe this. Why would they do this to me? Everyone's on their BRB screen. You have an acquaintance who is doing GMTK. Are they on their BRB screen? Is the person... Oh, are they back from BRB? Hold on. No, they're not. Never mind. No, they're not. Okay, do I... can I raid them? Who is this person? Are they streaming? Are they live right now? Lopi Fomeno. Software and game dev. Alright. Sure. /raid. This person. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday, as I stated, for more of this stuff. Unless I've given up. But I feel like I probably won't give up. I don't know. But also, I do have Uma Musume to play. I don't know if I... I don't know if I really have too much time to work on game, but maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't have to play Uma Musume, but like, then I'd be missing out. I feel like I'll do something halfway done. Yeah, that's some motivation right there. Taiki Shuttle, she's too easy. I posted on Twitter, Taiki Shuttle got 5th place. Can you believe that? She's washed. I even sent in Mihono Bourbon, who is not even a sprinter, and she won that. I've never lost against Taiki Shuttle. It's actually crazy. Because I've lost to King Halo many times, but this has never been a loss. She's literally washed. 5th place, come on. They always at least get 2nd. But I'm just too good. Simply just too good. Anyway, I guess the raid is going. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.